What's going on, guys? It's Jay from Dirty Boy Tools, here to talk to you today about indexing pry bars and demolition screwdrivers. Before I get into it, please remember to punch the like button and hammer the subscribe button. So these are tools that all four of these I either currently use or have used in the past. Currently, the gear wrench indexing pry bar and the Mayhew Dominator are two of my favorite tools in my tool bag. They're also two of the longest tools in my tool bag. I try to keep tools compact, but for the jobs that I use these for, it's good to have a longer tool. So let me start with indexing pry bars. If you're a car guy, you probably know what this is. And if you're not a car guy, I'm sure you can get an idea of how a tool like this that's 2-3 feet long can help you in situations. Even if you're not a car guy, I'm sure you can figure it out. Indexing pry bars, you can adjust the angle any which way you want. Scoop this under and pry out whatever you need to pry out. They're very durable. They're meant to take a beating. These are tools of separation and destruction, not tools of building. So you know they can hold up and last in different situations. So I'm sure you can think of many different places where you'd have to lift a panel up, lift a block up, separate a board from something else, and these really do come in handy. Now I prefer the gear wrench indexing pry bar to my performance tool for one sole reason. The gear wrench, you saw how easy I was moving the pry portion of it. Just push the button, it slides in. The performance tool, while it is a good price, it's a little bit harder to push in, and I struggle a little more with it. It's not too bad today. Maybe it's loosened up, who knows. Also, the gear wrench tends to have a bigger range of motion than this, although you don't really have to go too extreme to really get use of it. This is as far as it goes down, which is still pretty good, and I think the gear wrench will go to about there, a little lower. I mean, you're not gonna, maybe, oh yeah, maybe you could use this to, you know, open up a bottle or something. I don't know. But the performance tool, the things I do like better about this is really just the grip. The surface is very, well, for lack of a better term, it's very grippy, and it has knurling over here, so this feels a lot better in the hand. Now when I use these tools, I usually have work gloves on, so the gear wrench ends up being fine, especially with work gloves. So this is the tool I use in my bag. Despite its moving part, I haven't had any problems with this breaking or being a problem. And it's very useful, especially if you have parts in a machine or sheet metal in a machine, get stuck, you just get this in there, pop it out, good as new. Now for the demolition screwdrivers, regular screwdrivers are tools of assembly. They're tools to fasten screws to parts. These don't do that. They are like tools of destruction. They're meant for when you want to, you know, go in there, break things apart, pry things apart. Same thing as these. So typically I'll use these to separate. Let's say I have a machine that works with sheet metal parts. The sheet metal kind of gets stuck in the wrong spot, or maybe a robot moves it into the wrong spot. I gotta get it out before I set things home. So I'll stick this in, try to get it out, and they usually do the trick. Typically, demolition screwdrivers will have some steel on top, so that you can take a hammer if you need to, and you know, stick this against the part and just, you know, hit against it. You hear that? That's metal there. This one does not have that, but I'm sure that won't stop people from still hammering it, because it will take it. But that's the reason why I use the Dominator. In my current kit, I don't use the Steelman as much as I used to. The Dominator is longer, it can take a beating better. The only good thing about the Steelman is its head is actually like reasonably sized for a flathead screw. It'll get me into some control cabinets. The Dominator won't properly get me into any control cabinets unless I break into the cabinet this way. But I've never seen this fit a screw. But that's not the job of it. It's titled screwdriver, but I've never seen it used. I've never used this to drive screws. I've used this to do basically the opposite. So those are the tools that I use for prying on big jobs. Obviously small jobs, or if I have my pocket kit, I might have maybe a pocket pry bar like this, my Titan 7-inch. This will do the trick in a lot of situations, but you know, for slightly bigger jobs, these will come in handy. And obviously there's massive jobs out there where you need a 3-foot crowbar or some type of breaker bar tool to get it done. But for in-between jobs, these are great tools to have in your arsenal, great tools to have in your kit. They are a bit long, so it's kind of hard to fit it in. Let me see. This is going on 10 inches plus when folded. Oh, yeah. And then my Dominator, if I have the tip here, will go to 12 inches. So you'd have to make a little bit of space for them, but they can be well worth your while and well worth investing in if you don't have them. And honestly, even if you don't have them, I'm sure everybody has some long flathead screwdriver laying around that they end up using as a demolition screwdriver anyway. So if that works for you, and then more power to you, because that's what I've used for a while before I got this. Let me know in the comments what tools you guys use for, you know, prying, for demolition, for things like that. I'd be happy to hear about it.